The BAC basically stands for blood alcohol content, and the breathalyzer, what that does test is alcohol in a person's breath. We use that here in North Carolina, and it's a good tool that we've used for a long time. You know, you can, in this state, you can take blood on individual, but we prefer, as in the law enforcement, it's a lot easier, a lot quicker for us to take the breath test, which is what we often use here in this state.
Okay. And what is the BAC limit here and the BAC limit here in North Carolina?
Well, the limit that you are considered impaired is .08. Mm-hmm. So as Jeff was saying, you know, when you're out on the road and you suspect someone's impaired, then you do the field sobriety testing, which I think we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, no, tell me now. What is that?
but also there's a portable breath test that you can do roadside that basically establishes probable cause to have someone actually blow into an intoximeter down at a station.
Now, how much alcohol do you need to take, or you know, an average person to meet this limit?
Okay. Well, there's a lot of factors that go into that. I mean, even race, gender, you know, body weight, food consumption. A rule of thumb is a 175-year-old man or male would have to consume
175.
Excuse me, pound. 175 pound. I did it again. 175 pound male would have to consume 4 drinks in an hour to get close to the .08 limit, whereas a 137-pound female would have to consume 3 drinks to get to the limit. So that's kind of a rule of thumb, and but there are a lot of factors that go into that.
Now, how long does it take for an average person to metabolize alcohol?
Basically, it takes approximately 1 hour to drop a .02. In other words, if you have somebody that registers a .08, within 1 hour they're going to drop down to a .06. So usually the body eliminates a .02 per hour is the average.
Okay, so if I drink coffee, take a shower, will that help? Or
only thing that's really going to help is time. Time is the key here. So all the misconceptions of people talking about taking a shower and so forth, that's just a myth.
How about food?
Food can help, but that's also, like I said earlier, it's going to take time as well. Food consumption is one of the criteria that Mr. Jernigan was talking about earlier, as far as depending on how fast somebody develops as far as being impaired. But if you do consume food, that is going to actually absorb some of the alcohol in the stomach. So that is one thing that can help.
Can I add
Sure.
one thing? You know, we're talking about the .08 limit, but research and studies have shown that impairment actually begins at .02. So even with just 1 or 2 drinks, that's when impairment begins. So although .08 is a legal limit, I just want folks to understand that at .02 is when impairment begins.
Okay, and yeah.
And there's other factors as well, as it's not just .08. For commercial drivers, it's actually lower for them, and then there's other factors as well as it relates to having children in the car and things like that.